evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, county unemployment numbers were released earlier this week. The Tennessee Department of Correction has launched an initiative to protect trick-or-treaters from registered sex offenders. The Tullahoma Chamber of Commerce has held their monthly coffee on Tuesday, and we'll speak with Tullahoma Police Chief Blackwell about staying safe on Halloween. And the annual Highway 41 Toy Convoy is coming up this Sunday. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
If you're in the market for a new vehicle, Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac is worth the short drive for savings that can't be beat. Take home this 2015 Chevy Equinox, 0 down, just $299 a month. Or how about this 2015 Chevy Silverado Double Cab, 0 down, just $369 a month. And as always, we will match or beat any dealer's price. So come check us out or visit us online at stanmcnabb.com. But please don't forget, when it comes to the best deals, if anyone can, Stan can.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. Recently released county unemployment rates for September 2015 show the rates decreased in 29 counties, increased in 24, and remained the same in 24 counties. Davidson County had the state's lowest major metropolitan rate in September at 4.6%, up from the August rate of 4.5%. Knox County was 4.8% in September, the same as the previous month. The Hamilton County September rate was 5.6%, down from 5.7% in August. Shelby County was 6.7% in September, down from 6.9% the previous month. Tennessee statewide preliminary unemployment rate for September was 5.7%, unchanged from the previous month. The U.S. preliminary rate for September was 5.1%, the same as it was for August.
In Coffee County, 1,360 people are unemployed, equating to a 5.5% rate. In Bedford County, the unemployment rate is 6.4%, with 1,230 individuals looking for work there. Franklin County's rate is at 5.2%, as 1,020 people are unemployed. Warren County's unemployment rate is at 5.9%, while Lincoln and Moore counties report two of the lowest rates in the state at 4.8% and 4.4% respectively.
The Tennessee Department of Corrections says it has launched Operation Blackout, an annual initiative to protect trick-or-treaters from registered sex offenders. A Correction Department statement says probation parole officers have teamed up with local police to conduct random visits and compliance checks across the state to make sure that sex offenders are following strict guidelines for the Halloween season. During the first night, officers checked on 300 sex offenders, which resulted in 1 arrest, 1 citation, and 4 violations. TDOC says it plans to check on 3,500 sex offenders statewide through October 31st.
The annual East-West Middle School 5K was held last Saturday under an occasional drizzle, which probably kept some participants at home. In spite of the element, however, the annual fundraiser for the schools went off without a hitch. Newsleader's Philip Scoggins spoke with the two competing middle school principals, Mickey Sharan and Charles Lawson, prior to the race.
Just us being here is a victory.
That's right. If we can get across the finish line, we're going to be in good shape. Now, I will say East. I'm hoping East has the most participants, so we can take that trophy 3 years in a row.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell today because a lot of people came up today, and it was a good crowd on registration day. So there's no telling who won that one. As far as race-wise, I think Charles may have the edge in the run. So we'll see. We'll have to see. I'm not counting on it, but if I can beat Mick today, then that's going to be something.
Where do the proceeds from the race go to?
we split it down the middle. Half of it goes to the east, half of it goes to the west, and we use it for supplies or programming that we normally may not be able to afford otherwise. So it's a good program, and it's not like we're going to go under if we don't do it, but it's just an addition to what we have.
Oh, absolutely. It's just such a major fundraiser for both schools, and it really gives us some options that we wouldn't have otherwise, and it's a good extra, no doubt.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the winner of this year's 5K was 14-year-old Brandon Cluckley of Shelbyville with a time of 19 minutes and 48 seconds. This month's Chamber Coffee was held at Northgate Mall on Tuesday, and Belgium waffles was served to all by Woodard's Diamonds and Designs. John Gray stopped by and brings us this report.
And this is the Chamber Coffee, sponsored by Woodard's Diamonds and Design. It's Belgian Waffle Day at Northgate Mall.
Hey, John.
There's James.
How you doing?
Doing good, buddy. Yeah, they're all here. All the notables are here. There's Mayor Curley right there. Mr. Joe Lester right here. Look at this group right here. Good looking bunch. And all kinds of people here for the Chamber of Commerce Coffee. And there's Mr. Woodard right over there. We'll see if we can get a word out of him. All right, here's my buddy Jim Woodard. It's Waffle Day. It's Belgium Waffle Day. It's Woodard's Diamonds and Design. This man's getting ready to take a trip across the big water to buy good stuff for us.
Hey, buddy, doesn't that sound fun?
Sounds fun to me.
You need to go with me one of these days, John.
I tell you what, I don't know if they could stand the both of us.
You know what they always said? Sleepy McKenzie always says, if it's October, it must be Woodard's Waffles time. So that's what
right.
we're celebrating here today, the Chamber of Commerce. It's our coffee. We're partnering with Blood Assurance. Also, they're our co-partners in this Chamber of Commerce coffee today for October. And we're glad you're here, John. We got about 150 folks scattered around, so go out and check them all out.
All right, now, this all started because you take a little trip to Belgium.
I go to Belgium, yes sir. I made over, almost 30 trips to Antwerp, Belgium to buy diamonds, and that's where the most beautiful stones in the world are. So you'll have to just invite some of your audience to come in and take a peek. How would that be?
So when are you going to take that trip?
You know what, the date hadn't been picked just yet because I'm looking at the calendar to see what's going to be the most appropriate time, but it'll be here in the next week or two.
Okay, so you'll have some of these great new stones back in here, possibly for Christmas items?
Oh, you know what, just in time for the celebration. You come on down, John. We'll be glad to have you. Show them around.
My buddy, Jim Woodard.
Thank you, John. Come see us again.
Appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up after these messages.
The wait is finally over. The 2015 50th anniversary Ford Mustang is finally here. This is one awesome vehicle. Let me give you a few stats on this V8 Mustang. 435 horsepower, independent rear suspension, 25 miles per gallon, and this is the one you've been waiting for. 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Don't blink an eye or you'll miss it. Come by Russell Barnett Ford of Tullahoma and Winchester and check it out. The 2015 Mustang, the all-new redesign, will leave you speechless.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. The 19th annual Highway 41 Toy Convoy is coming up this Sunday. Newsleader's Peggy Burton spoke with Katie Ishii, event organizer, about this year's fundraiser.
Always so glad to have Katie Ishii on the set with me because she has such a wonderful project that's been going on for 19 years. How are you, Katie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm loving your shirt.
Thank you.
This is coming off what date?
It's Sunday, November the 1st.
It's just this week.
It's this weekend.
Oh my gosh. this Sunday. Get yourself together. November 1st at 11 o'clock. Tell them a little bit about it.
It's the 19th annual Highway 41 Toy Convoy. We line up in Manchester at the Raiders Academy, which is the old Coffee Middle School.
Okay.
It's located on Highway 55 at the interstate. Can't miss it.
Can't miss it, right.
And lineup starts at 11. All vehicles are welcome. Cars, trucks, Jeeps, bikes, motorcycles.
Just anybody that wants to get in there.
Right, anything.
And if you want to decorate.
We've even had rat rods come in. We got some coming from Shelbyville.
Great.
And they are awesome. The rides you see family cars, you see hot rods.
Do they decorate their cars?
Yes, ma'am. Some of them do. Some of them bring candy to throw out to the kids along the route. And we ask everybody to fly the American and/or Confederate flag.
Good.
To help salute our military, past and present.
Past and present, and I love that you're doing that, and I love it when I see the flags waving.
I know. It's just been a tradition of ours, and since day one.
Right.
That's just a tradition of ours.
Okay. $5 a carload.
No, it's $10 $10 a vehicle, $20 to show.
Okay.
And it's everybody has to bring a new unwrapped toy.
Okay.
To help with the kids' Christmas this year. Toys go out through the Coffee and Bedford County Sheriff's Department, Manchester Police Department, and Tullahoma Fire Department.
So you take the toys to those stations.
Right, we divide the toys up and they distribute the toys.
So that's why you don't want them wrapped. So
right, so they know if it's boy or girl.
Exactly, and get it to the right family that needs it.
Right.
Because there's nothing sadder than a child waking up on Christmas Day and not having something to remember Christmas by.
Right. Well, we first started with the foster children, and it grew so fast that we really needed to spread the toys, right?
Well, it's a wonderful, wonderful operation, and this Saturday, I guess you shouldn't just suddenly show up at 11. It's probably
Sunday.
Sunday. I meant to say Sunday. They should show up a little bit earlier than that.
Right. Well, lineup starts at 11, and we don't leave till 1 o'clock. So if you're in church, you still have time to come down and get in line and join the convoy. Now, when you come in, it's $10 a vehicle, not a person. 10 per vehicle. So if you got 6 kids,
it's still
$10.
Yeah, so
but if you come in with 6 kids, you're getting in free. So anybody that's got 4 more kids in the car gets in free.
It's still okay.
There's no reason to stay home. You don't need anything special to drive because all vehicles are welcome.
All vehicles, you don't have to dress up or do anything like that. You fly a flag if you can, but the important thing is to bring a gift.
Right,
a box of gifts, because there's so
Some
many
people
that
will
need
bring
them.
a truckload, like we heard when the rat rodders had been collecting toys all year. And one thing I would like to ask and bring up, I know a lot of kids get stuffed animals when they're sick, but the police department, for health reasons, will not accept a used stuffed animal.
It has
because it's already been exposed to a sick child. Most of them have.
And I think when you buy the stuffed animals that you can have, they should be enclosed in a wrapper of some kind, probably.
Well, that
or at least have the
tag on it, right?
Well, we could sit here and talk about this all day, but they're going to run us off. So
I know it.
Thank you.
Appreciate
so
y'all
much.
having me on the show.
Remember the date.
Sunday, November the 1st. Line up at
11 o'clock.
Roll at 1, rain or shine.
Thank you for all you do, Kate.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up after these messages.
Here at Stan McNabb Collision Center, we work with all major insurance companies, and we get the job done right the first time, on time.
Well, I grew up in Tullahoma. We'd always done business with Stan McNabb, so when we needed collision service after a run-in with a deer, we knew to call those guys. We already had trust with them. We called Cody. He took great care of us. He kept us posted every step of the way, and we couldn't have been more pleased.
Getting your vehicle back to pre-loss condition shouldn't be a headache. So in the event of an accident, contact me, Cody Hall, at Stan McNabb Collision Center.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. Tullahoma Police Chief Paul Blackwell stopped by our studios earlier this week to offer some safety tips for Halloween trick-or-treating.
Halloween on a Saturday night, you know, that's probably the best time to have it. You know, the only issue we have possibly is that being a Saturday night, families are usually together for dinner. So the mayor has kind of asked that people limit their trick-or-treating from 6 at night till about 10. 6 o'clock, give the families time to have dinner together and before they head out. I know how frustrating it'd probably be to sit down with your family, have to have dinner, and your doorbell starts ringing.
Sure.
So we kind of said, you know, maybe 6 to 10 is a good recommendation. And that's all it is recommendation.
Yeah.
You know, we can't say, you know, if you start at 5:55, something's going to happen, or if you're out at 10:05, something's going to happen.
Right.
But hopefully the weather will cooperate. I know the weather patterns are kind of changing, and you know, we're still 4 or 5 days away, so that could change again. I'll be out working. Several of our officers will be out working, and you know, we want to see people have a good time, and that's what it's about. But of course, we want people to be safe. And what we try to do every year about this time is just go over some basic trick-or-treating safety measures, and we're going to leave it with you so y'all can run it in more detail on some of your newscasts. But one thing that was mentioned before coming up here was in years past, y'all had activities where people were in costume, you couldn't tell who they were.
Right.
And really that's a concern for us from a police standpoint when we recommend to people, don't go into establishments, stores, bars, you know, anything like that wearing your mask, because you know, it is a reasonable for that clerk or that manager, whoever, to be concerned, because hey, what better opportunity to do something criminal than behind a mask. So so we ask, if you're going to go stop into a convenience store, don't wear a mask in. If you're going to stop at, you know, your local bank, don't walk in with a mask on. You know, let's be reasonable about this.
Right.
There's a time and a place to wear the mask, and the same thing applies to kids trick-or-treating. Don't wear your mask when you're running across the street or running through the yards, because that mask is going to, you know, it's going to obstruct some of your vision. Take your mask off till you get to the house that you want to go trick-or-treat at, and then put your mask back on. And that's something parents should make sure the kids understand, is don't run with the mask on. Then the other basic things, wear a reflective type outfit, or put a reflective band or tape or something on so that they can be seen when the headlights strike them. Don't let encourage your kids not to run between cars, because we know that in some of our neighborhoods, parents will drive and just park on the side of the road, and then kids are running in between cars, down the street, down the yards, and that's not safe. You know, there's a whole list of things. Travel in a group. You know, don't just be out by yourself. Have a plan. Parents know, you know, what area are your kids going to, what time should you expect them home, all of this type stuff. And you know, we'd like to see parents be out with their kids, and if you have a vehicle that opens to either side of the road, like some of the minivans where both doors will open, just open the door that opens onto the curb, onto the grass, and you know, so they're not jumping out on the driver's side and jumping into traffic. If they have a flashlight, carry a flashlight or glow sticks or something that helps them to see where they're going. And then we have to kind of address the parents. Don't park in front of a stop sign. Don't park in front of a fire hydrant. There's some of our neighborhoods, particularly Kings Ridge and Fairways, where we always have a lot of traffic. And sometimes they park right at the entranceway, and we couldn't get an emergency vehicle in there, a fire truck or an ambulance. So we're very aggressive on making sure they don't park and block the entrance. But it's a good time, it's an enjoyable, and we want people to have a good time. And there'll be officers out that are making sure people aren't doing foolish stuff.
We'll be right back in a moment.
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. The 6-3 Shelbyville Golden Eagles resume action this Friday night when they travel to Winchester to take on the Franklin County Rebels. Jim spoke with head coach Jason Hardy after last week's win over Columbia about the playoff implications of this week's game.
You guys are now 6-3, one more game in the regular season. Are you? What sort of playoff implications does next week's game have?
They have huge implications. First of all, we need to win. I feel like, I don't know. There are probably some scenarios that if we didn't win, that we still could get in. But most likely, we need to win. Once we win, that's really all we can control. We win, I believe we're in. And then, depending upon the Lincoln County Stewart Creek game and the Laverne Independence game, could come into a tiebreaker scenario where we could finish second, we could finish third, or we could finish fourth. But the big thing and the only thing that we can control and worry about is going against Franklin County and getting a win, because it's a huge game for them as well, senior night, and it's going to be a lot like this Columbia game. They're out of the playoffs and they got nothing to lose, so they're probably going to come away with some trick plays and onside kicks, and we'll just have to expect their best effort.
Okay. So is that a game at Franklin County?
It is at Franklin County.
Okay, so you'll be on the road for that final game, needing to get that final win and close out the season at 7-3.
So right now we're 6-3, and that's not terrible at all. And we've got a great chance for the playoffs, and even could finish second in the region. So it felt like there was a lot of weight on our shoulders the last few weeks, and probably that's one of the things where you just let things compound over the weeks. And not only we lost 3 straight, but we had a bye week before that. So it's been over a month since we've been on the winning side of the football game. And mentally it's tough. And I think our kids they needed that shot in the arm. And I hope that gives us a confidence boost to start playing our best football here and finish the regular season with a win. And then it's important to feel good about yourself and play confident going into the playoffs. And that's what it's all about. And like I alluded to earlier, we're already in our playoff mode, so we just want to each week get a little bit better.
And no injuries of major significance?
We actually came away last night going into the game, and we had some bumps and bruises, but we didn't leave the game any worse than what we were, so I felt really good about that. Zach Burns, a starting defensive and offensive lineman, missed last night, and we're hoping he'll be back for this final game of the regular season as well.
Okay. But tell them Wildcats are still looking for their first win of the season as they take on Giles County Friday night. John Gray spoke with head coach John Olive about this week's opponent.
We have Giles County coming in here. Giles County's 2-7. They won again last night. The back half of the season here, they're 2-2 with our game coming up. I've not seen them since early in the season when they played Shelbyville. I think they've got one of the best, Tucker kid, that's one of the best running backs in the mid-state as far as yardage goes. Mm-hmm. He's in the top 5 or 6 in the leaders in the mid-state. They've got a wide receiver named Holly that really played well against Shelbyville. But if you're 7, it tells you that they've been beaten 7 times.
Yep.
I look at it as a great opportunity for this football team to have a chance to take that offer off the board.
That's
and
right.
Get one.
And
one means a whole lot more than that 0.
That's right.
So
And, you know, we need
I
to-
hope you'll be there on Friday night for senior night. We'll recognize them before the ball game. That's band, cheerleaders, and football seniors will be recognized. And then see if the Wildcats can't find a way to win one ball game this year.
Find a way to win.
The Coffee County Humane Society featured pet this week is Rosie and Posey. They are sweet young lab collie mixed breed sisters who are looking for a forever home. The shelter also has many other dogs available for adoption at 1210 Oakdale Street in Manchester. Hours of operation at the shelter are 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The shelter's phone number is 723-2730. Donations for animal care can be made to the Coffee County Humane Society at P.O. Box 252, Manchester. Their website is www.coffeehumane.org.
The pet of the week this week at the Tullahoma Animal Shelter is an Australian Shepherd named Bear. He entered the shelter as a stray and is approximately 3 years old. Bear is up to date on his vaccinations and heartworm negative. Bear is a very playful dog who loves attention. He will receive a free neuter with a $35 adoption fee. Be sure to check out the Tullahoma Shelter on Facebook for upcoming events and fundraisers. Remember, you can help support your local shelter by adopting, donating, or volunteering. For more details, contact Teresa at 454-9580. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter is located at 942 Maplewood Avenue.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up after these messages.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1971 at 82 degrees. The record low was in 1952 at 20 degrees. Average high on this day is 68 and the average low is 42. Tonight, look for mostly clear weather with a low of around 39. Mostly sunny weather in your forecast for Friday with a high of 62 and a low of 45. 40% chance of rain on Saturday with a high of 63 and a low of 54. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on Newsleader 6, wishes you and your families a safe and happy Halloween weekend. Thank you.